So right now you're working for Pirates.
Yeah.
So you have to do a bunch of stunts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel scary or dangerous or?
That's something I'd like to say. If anyone wants to get into stunts, it shouldn't feel dangerous or scary.
Falling from 40 feet? What? That sounds fun.
So there's.
Sounds awful.
I'm gonna quote a really old parkour guy. God, he said this.
Please say his YouTube name.
I don't even remember his name.
At parkour
Tim
7-8.
Sheaf. His name is Tim Sheaf.
Okay.
He was a big handstand guy. Like that was like his major thing. He was really good at handstands. But he had this.
You from a freshman year?
He did inspire me like trick wise, but he also said something that really resonated with me. Where he said like, people say I'm crazy when I do this parkour stuff, and I translate that to when I do my stunt work. That like people say I'm crazy, but like when I'm up there, I don't want to feel adrenaline. I don't want to feel my heart pumping really fast. If I'm about to do like a high fall or about to do like this big sword fight with like actual metal swords, I don't want to feel my heart pumping. I want to feel calm and centered. If I feel my heart pumping, I feel like a bunch of adrenaline going, I won't do it because that's when mistakes get made and that's when bad things happen.
Yeah, and you're pushing past.
Yeah, so like people see the stunt industry, it's controlled chaos to the nth degree. Like no stunt coordinator is going to hire you if like you're an adrenaline junkie. Like you have to be able to control those two parts of your life where like parkour is fun for me and I like throwing tricks into a foam pit or just having my playtime on the floor. But when you're on set doing stunts, it's not the time. Like it's not the time to be doing backflips for no reason because everyone else is going to view that as extremely unprofessional. It's like you're on set to do this job and maybe you can do a backflip 99 times out of 100 and nothing's going to happen. But guess what? That one time it's going to happen on set before your big moment and you're going to bust your ankle and then it's going to be like, well, now the shot's ruined. Now we wasted all this money on set for the day and the guy who we hired to do this thing can't do it. And so it's a very important thing to be as professional as possible, especially when it comes to stunts. Like,
I mean, it's dangerous. And
it's dangerous. It's you take a calculated risk, and that's how I hurt my knees. We were just rehearsing some flips, just trying some stuff, and it wasn't even necessarily like. I mean, I try not to say it as much as I can, but it wasn't my fault. It was there were some blocks that we were flipping on that weren't like pushed together, so they weren't stable. Yeah. So when I landed on them, it all fell down, and that's how my knee got injured. Yeah. So it was one of those things where it was like, this is safety checks. This is making sure everything is in its proper place before you do stunts because they are dangerous. Yeah. So you want to make it as safe as you can. Yeah. But it's a fine line you ride, so you have to make sure you're doing all of your homework and doing the best you can to make sure everything is safe for everybody else. So it's important. It's very important.
Yeah, don't go flipping around.
The name of the game in stunts is longevity.
See how long you can survive.
Yeah, like when you take a fall out of a window or you have to land flat on your back on concrete and they go, hey, you think we could go for one more? You gotta know your worth at that point and be like, no.
Oh, is it okay to say no? I mean, I guess obviously it's always okay to say no.
As a stunt performer?
But you know what I mean? Because that's your job. So at what point can you be like, oh, okay, I kind of need to rest?
It's a fine line to ride. You have to be sure that, like...
You actually need it.
Yeah, like if... There's been times where you'll do a stunt and then the camera...
Wasn't on?
No, wasn't on. That's a whole nother issue. If you're a film set, the camera wasn't on.
Get off that film set.
Get off that set. Like if maybe like, oh, it was just out of focus or it was, oh, we panned a little too late. Those are things that are like kind of forgivable. You're like, okay, I understand that from especially working on the other side where you have to like take a look at all the footage and edit it together. You can understand that, but when it's like, oh man, maybe we could just one more, maybe just like do this at the end or do this. You kind of.
You're like, are you even gonna use that?
You just gotta know your limits.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you gotta be like, hey, if I do this any more times, my back's gonna be jacked up. I do stunts for a living. Like, my only jobs are performing right now, so if I can't go to work tomorrow at Universal, that's why I don't get paid. So you have to be able to...
So I'm not gonna do a triple backflip.
Yeah, you gotta know your limits. But that's also, that comes into choreographing these things, where it's like, okay, so I'm gonna do this move that I can only do once or twice a day, maybe don't put that one in. Maybe do the one that you can do 9 times a day, so that you know you have a good take at the end of the day. So it's a lot of thought has to go into it. You never want to get on set and be like, all right, cool, let's make something up. Unless you're like, I have friends that I can do that with, where it's like, we've worked together many times, so we can just like, all right, let's put a fight together, and then 10 minutes later, we've got a fight. Boom, easy.
You should be filming that stuff.
Oh, we do. It's on Instagram.
Follow him.
Shout out to
Joseph.
Josh Chavez.
Hey, Josh.
My
I don't know you.
fight partner in all of my Instagram videos.
He's like your only friend on Instagram.
No, we just work together a lot at Universal.
Yeah.
So we're just like, let's fight, man.
Let's do it.